All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. House Edge Live with Johnny here on Casino Gaming TV. Fun show for you today, I think. I know we have probably a lower audience than normal because I think Brian's live right now. Brian from High Crap Shooters is doing his morning tournament thing, but guys, they'll come back and watch us later on. So here we go. Before we start today, let's remind ourselves all the important stuff, right? Let's make sure we run the morning through the lens of the bridge, right? Make sure that and I'm going to show you some stuff today. We're going to go through some rolls that have already happened. So we'll do a couple of comparison betting kind of schemes here, but reminder, like to as you watch that, couple things to note. One, we're going to be looking at a series of rolls in hindsight, which is you can't do that in real life, right? So just know that it's fun to go back and analyze. It's fun to go back and look at patterns and rhythm and see how things may have been, right? There's education in that, but it's also not the way to win, right? And you can't do that in real life. It's good though to look at how your strategy would have fit what happened, right? And I like to look at my strategy and say how many times would the way that I have played or the way that I play worked? How many times would that thing have paid off for me? So we're going to take a series of rolls. We're going to do a number of ways to play it and just kind of get a sense of like, how would it have been for me that day? And the more you can do that, you get a better sense of how your strategy or the way that you want to play anyway holds up over time by looking at some old stuff. Anyway, so again, run yourself through the lens, right? How does your bankroll play in? What kind of risk do you like, right? Can you see when it's time to leave or time to lean in? You'll see that there's a roll here today that you may want to lean in on, right? Have that goal and have discipline to hit the goal and boogie out. Yeah, you like this shirt? That's cool, right? And a great shirt. I found it on Amazon. I love it. Yeah, there's actually a shop on Amazon. It's got all kind of really cool biblical kind of shirts that have some really funny kind of sayings on them. So, all right, let's do it. Let's get into it. Not a lot else to really talk through today with you on the agenda. I said my piece yesterday about the whole giving up thing, but we're going to play pass line with odds today. I'm going to show you some pass line with odds. I think it's still a good way to play. I get backed up in the reasoning. So, with all that said, let's just jump right in and get to the rolls here. Leveraging profits today. We're going to, you know what? I'm going to do that tomorrow. I was going to talk about this today, but because I got the set of rolls coming in, we'll talk about that probably in depth tomorrow. But really what I'd like to maybe I'll showcase some of it today. If we can get ahead in the rolls today, we'll do this. And this comes down to leveraging profit means not necessarily pressing your bets. And I think that's a misnomer. I think that I've said it, I think incorrectly in the past, but leveraging your profits just means betting higher on the win cycles. Okay. So if your base bet is 10 and you're going 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and you have some profit, you can go 15, 15, 15 with your next series of bets, right? It's what Jacob from Wager Me This preaches. So we're going to do some of that today, potentially in the set of rolls I'm about to show you. But here, let's take a look at the rolls. Let me go one screen forward here. We'll look at the rolls that we've got. And these came in from Duracell. This is the rolls from the Big AZ show last night. He did a field 1, 3, 2, 4. And what I've done here is I've highlighted a couple of things. And I want to, if I can, my mouse does show up. Look. So a couple of things to note here. Okay. And again, just like this is my way of doing things. And whatever, you can take from it what you will. But as you look through a series of previous results, I know, like, for example, the Justice Gen writes everything down in a notebook, right? You can take that list of things from the notebook, right? Or if you use like an app like Nexus where you're typing in the rolls as they happen, you can come back and look at the rolls that just happened like this and say, look, what patterns do I see? Okay. Here's what we see. Okay. Number one, let's put yourself in the shoes of the pass line bettor. Just pass line with odds guy. Okay. Let's take a look at what happens to that guy, which is interesting. You got what looks like a pretty good roll here, right? This one here looks pretty good. This one here looks This looks bad. This looks really good down the bottom, right? Pass line with odds guys, right? He hits his point, right? 8, 6, 8, hit a point, and then nothing. 7's out. Next shooter loses the pass line, sets a point, right? 7's out. The next two come out 7s, which kind of recovers those two. 0.7 out, doesn't get it. Here he sets a point at 9 and never hits the 9 in this big long roll, right? Which is interesting. So the pass line guy literally gets 1 point made, 2 come out 7s, and everything else is a loss. Even in a good series of rolls, I tell you all the time, not all good rolls are made the same. Here's a good example of that. If you're a don't pass guy, right? Don't pass guy loses his first bet, right? Comes out on a 10, wins. Win, 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 right? Lose, lose, but he wins on that one there. And of course, he wins on the last guy. The don't pass guy, even in this great series of rolls, does better than the pass line guy does. Isn't that interesting when you see rolls like this? It's interesting. Even a hot roll like that, the don't pass guy can actually still win, which I think is fascinating. But we're here to play the field. Let's play the field. Let's take a look at our field parlay first. I'm going to run, and you can see I've got the field numbers highlighted in yellow so I can find them. There's a couple of good patterns here in this last shooter. The first couple of guys, we get a little bit torched. Let's see if we can survive. Let's see if our bankroll can survive this ugliness down here. Let's see if it can survive, shall we? Here we go. Let me go to the table view. Let's see the desktop layout. Nope. Yeah, there we go. All right. We don't really need the hops, right? Let's get the lammers. Let's get this. I'm going to put this right up top. We're not going to play anything in the box, right? So I can use this up here. I'm not going to use the come at all. Let's see. Can I put it? Where did I put it over here? Maybe no. I gotta find a place where you can see it. I guess, right? I could put the field bets here. I guess that's good enough. And the pass and don't pass. We'll just do it like that. Okay. Let's get $1,000. Let's get $1,000 in the rack. And here we go. Let's get 500 in blacks. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 in green. And I'll split them up in chunks of 100 so we can see our bankroll nice and easy. I'll reset this after each strategy. We're going to do a few different things today. All right. Let's start out and we're going to play the rolls out as we see them. I'll use my puck here to keep the thing. All right. So the first we'll do the pass line guy. All right. Oh, Dr. S says this like he doesn't know I play the dark side all the time, dude. I'm a dark side player all the time. That's what the Horseman is, right? I literally preach that for years and years and years. I just don't show it because it's not exciting on my show, right? We like to show some right side stuff here. All right, here we go. Let's do the field parlay guy first. We'll do that guy first. So he's going to go every roll. We're not going to worry about the sevens. We're going to go into the field, right? So we're going to go into the field for the first one. The pattern we're going to follow is 4 green level. Then we're going to ladder for 2, ladder for 2, ladder for 2. That's how we're going to approach it that way. Okay. Until we catch a win or get back to even. Okay. So he's going to go in the field and lose on that first 8. Okay. And again, we're going to be here. I'll move my mouse as best I can with this thing, right? There's the first one. He goes in the field again. There's the 6. We lose on the 6. We go in the field again. And it's an 8, and we lose on the 8. We go in the field again, and it's a 10, and that wins, right? 1, 3, 2, 4. We stack, right? And then we get a 6, and we lose. So now he's out 150, right? Come back out for $50. Again, a ladder for 2. So it's a 5, which loses. It's another 5 right here, which loses. Then we catch a 3, so we're out here again. And now we're at $75. So we lost the 2 5s. Now we're out here again for 3, right? And it wins. And we match it to go to a 3-unit bet, right? 1, 3. And guess what happens? We catch a 7. And now we're out, right? That's a huge bummer. We've lost already 1, 2, 3, 4. 475 is lost so far in the first phase. Now, that shooter won. We got to go to level 2 now, right? We said we were going to go to level 2. Or level 3, rather, right? Now we're at $100. Went from 25 to 50. Now, oh, sorry. Now we're at 75. We're at $75 now. Sorry, my bad. $75. We just do 75. No, we just did 75. We're at 100 now. We're at 100. Okay. So on 100, we catch a 2. And that wins. And we match it. 1, 3. Right? We catch a 12 and finally get a second win. So we win $300, right? And we come down now to level 2. That's the 8. And we've lost on the 8. So look at our bankroll and see where we are. This is the kind of the key to these things, right? There's 500. 600, 700, 800, and 25 bucks. So we're still down, okay? Go back to level 1 or work your way back a level. We laddered up in 1. We're going to come back now to 75 for 2 and see if we can't make that work. So 75 on the 8, we lose. 75 on that 6. We're going to go back out here again. I need to put some change out. Hang on. This is a thumping right here, right? I said, can your bankroll survive it? This is the question, right? Can the bankroll survive a butt kicking like this? There's 75 again on the 6, and we lose that one. Okay. Now to the 5, we lost 2. We ladder up to 100 bucks, right? And we catch a 9, which wins. And we match it. And then we catch that 7 and we lose it, which is a huge bummer, right? That was, again, two cracks at 100 bucks there, right? Or that was our first $100 crack. Now we come back down here to the next shooter. It's 100 bucks and we lose it. Now it's 125 on that second 7 and we lose it. Now we're at 150 on that 6 and we lose it. Can we get to where it's going to be okay? $1,000 about to go away because our last 100 bucks loses on the 7. So if you're going to ladder it up and you're going to go 4 and then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 on your ladder, right? We don't make it to the good roll where it could be. Okay, that's way number 1. Laddering up in this situation didn't work out, even though we even spread the ladder out across 2. Let's do that same thing again without laddering. Let's do a straight up, just 25 bucks every single time and see what happens, all right? There's your 500 there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's do it again. This time, no ladder. We're just going to go at it straight up. 25 bucks this time. What I always tell you is, right, lose as little as you can, win as much as you can. Let's see if we can do it with a quarter and survive longer. Never ladder up, just go quarters. Same strategy, 1, 3, 2, 4, but never laddering. Let's try it without a ladder this time. Here we go. You ready? I got to get this over here. All right, we're on the 8. And again, it's 25 bucks, right? We can just do it easy. We lose on the 8, right? We lose on the 6. We lose on the 8, right? We come out here on a 10, right? And the 10 wins, and we match it. And we lose on the 6. We lose on the 5 and the 5. So we lose on the 5, lose on the next 5, right? Here comes the 3, which we win and we match. And then the 7 comes and it takes that 2, which sucks. Okay, now, next shooter. We get to the 2, which wins. And we match it from our rack. We catch a 12, which pays double, right? Bang and bang. Okay. I think I didn't play double last time, right? On the black one, we still would have lost out. All right, now we get to there. Okay, we go down to a 2-unit bet, so this all comes back to the rack. And we're almost back to even again, right? But we don't get the 2-level win. And then we come out 8, 6, 5, so it's going to be 8. And then the 6 loses, and the 5 loses, right? Then the 9 comes out right here, and this 9 wins. We match it, and then the 7 comes, and we lose it. We don't get our second hit there. Now we're on this third shooter, this PSO guy, right? And again, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We lose on the 7, we lose on the 7, we lose on the 6, and we lose on the 7. So here, right, betting just the 1 quarter the whole time, right? You're still losing, but you're in the game, right? Again, lose as little as you can when it's not going well. The ladder sometimes pays off. Sometimes the ladder doesn't let you get to this good shooter. Right? So in the first shooter, the ladder hurt. Now, what have we lost? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 75. Okay, here we go. Now we're on a new shooter. So come out with the 9, right? It wins, we match, and we lose on the 8. Sucks. Then we catch a 10, which wins, and we match it, and we win the match. Great. It goes down to a 2-unit bet. That's a nice little come home for us there, right? Then we're going to catch 2 losers in a row, a 5 and a 5, right? So we're going to lose this 2 bet, start over again with a new bet on the 5, and we lose that bet. Out again, Now we're going to catch this 2 threes in a row here. So there's a win and a match, and then a win. And that's nice. That comes back to the rack. That's your 2 threes. Then we catch a 6, which loses. We're back out again. We catch an 11, which wins, and we match it. And that repeats, right? The 1-3 is looking pretty good here, right? Comes back to the rack. Now we catch a 5. So we lose our 2 bet right there. And then we catch a 4. So we're out again. We catch a 4. It wins. We match it. We win on the 3, which is awesome. Goes down to 2 units again. 2 units, we get a 2, which pays double, right? We still go to 4 units. We can take 2 back to the rack, but we lose on that 6. That's right there. Come back out with a 1 unit bet. We catch an 8, which loses. Come back out again. We catch a 12, which wins 2, which is great because our 3 bet is a freebie. We don't got to come out of our rack for that one, right? But it loses anyway on that 8. Come back out again. We catch a 10. It wins. We match it, but we lose the match. And then we have the 6, 5, 7 at the end. 6, 5, 7. Those 3 all lose. At the end of the day, 5, 600, 675. We end up losing money, again, by just going with 1 at a time. So, again, lose as little as you can when you lose, win as much as you can when you win. So there it is. There's the ladder getting killed. There's the single, never moving up version of it, losing as it loses, right? Which I think is interesting. Now, I think something you can try to do too is whenever you have a win, right, make that your new level, right? When you have a net profit, make it your next level. Now, in this case, it never would have happened. We never would have got a good win. You'll see there's not one case where we get to the 4. There's no 4 in a row on the field parlay here. So that really wouldn't have worked. But what I'm suggesting is this. What I'll explain to you is this. When you do the win leveraging thing, let me come here. All right, let's go with this. Let's say we have, let's get a few in a row, right? Let's take this one here. Let's take the win, right? Let's match it, and let's take the match. Okay, let's go down to 2. I'll put it in front just because it's not real money. Okay, the 2 wins goes to 4, and the 4 wins. Okay, now you started out with 2 units. Back in the rack that goes. You've got all this extra. You've got whatever this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10 units. The leveraging thing means this. Your next set of bets comes out at a level 2 as your first bet. And if the level 2 bet wins and you match level 2, your 3 is now 6. And so when the 6 unit bet wins, right, and you go back down to 2 units, look at the difference in profit, right? When you take the next set of bets and you level the base up with profit play, that's what we call win leveraging, okay? That's what Jacob preaches all the time with his style of play. All right, here we go. That was the field version of it. Let's do this again with a couple other strategies, the same set of rolls. And again, looking at 4 shooters is not indicative of your life as a craps player, but it's a good exercise to go through, again, to get a sense of rhythm. So again, we can look at the pass line guy. We know what's going to happen to the pass line guy already. Right? He sets a point of 8, right? And here's the point of 8. And they roll a 6, and he's got his 5x odds. He's got 125 behind the 8, which is awesome, right? When that bet wins, the shooter hits their 8, right? So we get paid 25 here and 150 back here, right? And we're a champion. That's pretty freaking awesome, right? All that can come back into the rack. But let's watch what happens. We've got actually some profit locked, right? Money back profit locked, actually, right over here. This is profit lock. Let's come back and keep going, right? Now the point is 10. And he goes out with 3x odds. That's all you can do. 3x odds, right? And nothing happens. We 7 out. We lose that whole $100. Next shooter, right? It's a pass line, which loses on a 2. It loses on a 12. Comes out on a point of 8 and does max odds again, right? 6, 5, 9, 7 out. There goes all his profits from the first one, okay? Then he comes out, pass line, right? We win on a 7 and save it. We win on a 7 and we save it. He sets a point of 6. He goes out 125 in odds. 7 out. PSO. Now we come out on that point of 9. Right? There's the 9. He puts 4 units behind it, $100 in odds. And the guy never throws a 9 and ends up 7ing out. So that goes away too. So here the pass line with odds guy also loses 5, 650. He lost 350. Right? The 6 and 8 guy does great, as Skill says, right? For sure. Right? Dr. S says, yeah, how would an 8-step Marty have done? Right? We should actually, you know what I should do here? I should do the 31 in here. The 31 might have been okay. Actually, the 31 would have got killed on the first shooter in the field. All right. The problem with 8-step martingale with a quarter, you can't afford that. Like nobody can afford 8 steps on a quarter. That's the problem. It's just too many, right? Just too many levels. If you go 8-step Marty, what is that? 25, 50, then it's 100, right? Then it's 200. Let's just put it out there. 200. Then it's 400. Then it's 800. Where's the 5 and the 8? There's 800 for level 6, right? Let's put them out here. 150, 100, 200, 400. There's 800. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next one is 1600, right? The next one is 3200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3,200. 8-step Marty, right? Even if you hit on the 8th one, which let me go back. I think I hit a button here. Let me go back a screen. There we go. You never hit the 8th level here, but my God, you have to have 3,200, the 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 5,500, 5,008, 5,875 just to get through it. Just to get through it. And here we did go 1, 2, 3, 4, level 5. You're puckered a little bit, right? Down here you're getting paid, right? But yeah, you're interesting, right? You're interesting in there when it gets ugly, and you do get paid a double, right, on that one bet, right? And again, hindsight 2020, we can go back. Oh, yeah, that would have done great. But remember, to play that Marty, you're going to have to. And again, if you go past that level, you're done, right? You're going to be at table max. Probably that $3,200 bet was probably at table max. You probably wouldn't get to level 8 anyway. All right, let's do one more. Let's do, we can do the don't pass guy. Let's play the don't. How did the don't player do today? I think the don't player is going to win the day here. Maybe the horseman wins the day. We'll see. Let's find out how these two guys do. There's $1,000. Let's do, again, the don't pass guy. Now, the don't pass guy, you can play it a number of ways, obviously, right? We can go don't pass with odds or without odds. You can do, if you do a flat don't, which I think is better than with odds, the flat don't guy that's doing a 1, 3, 2, 4. How does that guy do? Well, his first bet loses. He's out here on this 8, right? Hits the point of 8 and he loses $25. Comes out on a point of 10, which gets a 7 and wins. Right? Pump it up. Pump it up. Now, the next shooter has a 2, which pays 3. We go down to 2. Then he had a 12, which pays 2, and we rack it up to 4. Nothing else happens, right? 8, 6, 5, 9, 7 out. There's $100. He wins the 1, 3, 2, 4, right? And all that is profit. Matter of fact, that is $225 in profit on the first 2 shooters on a 1, 3, 2, 4. Now, what I said before was, if you want to leverage your win, your next level 1 is 50. Okay. Now you're going to lose on this next come out 7, and you're going to lose again on the next come out 7. You're going to lose again. You're going to come out here again. You're still playing from profit. Level up your bet size, right? You're at level 3, right? For the third one, when they set the point of 6 and he 7s out and that wins and you match it, now you're here for the next shooter who sets a point of 9 and never hits the 9. Nothing bad happens to you other than you win $150. And the don't pass 1, 3, 2, 4, even on the awesome roll, ends up in profit $325, which is very interesting. Even on a great shooter The don't pass guy sitting over there having a cigar did pretty damn good. Pretty cool, right? Let's do this one more time, and we'll play a horseman this time. Let's do the horseman. I need to see the numbers now. Okay, we'll put this here in the middle. So the horseman guy is going to do this. Again, same $1,000. Comes out on a don't pass. The shooter sets the point of 8. Let's put the come bet here in the middle. Right, the come bet goes to the 6. The shooter hits the 8. The puck goes off. We lose. Okay, we come back. Don't come back to the don't. Right, puck is off. Shooter sets a point of 10. We come back out with a come bet here. It goes to the 6, which pays. So we get our quarter back. Stays in the come. It goes to the 5. The 5, and we go another come bet. Our third come bet is here. The 5 hits. That's off and on again. Then we catch. That's it. That's the last. It's the last. Once it goes up, that's the last one, right? We had 3 come bets in play. Now we catch the 3, which doesn't matter, and then we 7 out, and these 2 go away. So the horseman on the first shooter loses a quarter. Not a big deal. Next shooter. Out on the don't. We catch a 2, and we win. We catch a 12, and we win. Point goes to the 8. We put a come bet out there. It goes to the 6. We put a come bet out there. It goes to the 5. Put a come bet out there, and it goes to the 9. Here's the horseman's nightmare, right? We catch a 7, so all 3 of those lose, but the don't pass wins, and that goes back to the rack. Then we catch the nightmare. 2 come out 7, so we lose that one. We lose that one. Set a point of 6. Put a bet in the come. Here comes the PSO, and they both win. And lo and behold, the horseman is basically tied or down a quarter. Last shooter. Come on the don't. The point is 9. And now we go coming, right? Come bet goes to the 8. That's great. Come bet goes to the 10. And we have an off and on. Our third come bet, they hit a 10 again, right? So it's off and on for a quarter, and that comes back to the rack. Our next come bet goes to the 5. Next roll is at that second 5, right? We're here on this 5 now, right? This thing comes down and gets paid, and it comes back. Decision time. Do you keep coming or let the bets resolve and play? Do you take that quarter and start doing place bets, right? We're just going to let the bets resolve and do nothing else. I'm going to play this boring style, but you have options now. You can take that win that you just got and let it kind of play itself out. All right, here we are. So we have 3-3, nothing happens. A 6 happened, nothing. 11, 11, 5, nothing happens here, right? That 8 finally gets hit over here. Comes down, now we're even in the rack. A 12, an 8, a 10. So the 10 gets hit. That comes back to the rack. A 6, a 5, and then the final 7 out there. And this guy wins $100. So the horseman wins $100. Now they had opportunity in here to do different things. On the second 10 win, right? Could have done other stuff. Could have been playing the box, whatever else. But just on its face, won $100. Again, super shitty roll, normal size kind of roll, average roll, and a great roll. Comes out ahead, right? Again, bump on a pickle, take care of it, right? I don't win on the 12. I didn't win on the 12. Where is the 12? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm 1 quarter down. Yep. I'm sticking field. I'm 1 quarter. We're at 75, not 100, right? So the horseman, right, does what it does. It ties most of the time. It keeps you in the game. It gives you a chance to switch sides over here. I could have taken when that 5 hit. I could have switched over and started doing some place betting. I would have maybe won a couple of bets on the 6 and the 5, whatever else, right? That would have been fine. As it is, it worked. What got killed today was the streak hunters, right? I say a lot, streak betting is kind of the way to go. Today, there were no real good streaks, right? Other than this last shooter had a bunch of boxes. He had 3 10s, right? Which is kind of cool. But there was no 4 in a row in the field. There was only the 1 4 in a row from the don't that we had, the 7, right? That was the only time we ever had that. So it just doesn't happen as often as you'd like, but when it does happen, as you can see, it's a 10-unit deal. So anyway, there it is. Let's go back to the other screen and let's talk about life. Let's talk about life. How do I do that? I got to go here. My stupid, there we go. My screen switcher thing is broke, so I have to do it with the mouse now. So anyway, Point being, you can go hindsight all day long, right? And say, oh, I would have, could have, should have, right? I think when you see rolls like this is, I don't want to say typical. It's a little atypical because you have the one long one. But, the first shooter has what? After the point, he has 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count them out. After the point's been set, right? The point's 8. So 1, 2 box numbers. Point is 10. 3, 4, 5 box numbers. That's a pretty typical shooter, right? 5 box numbers over 8.5 rolls. It's a 9 roll hand, right? 5 box numbers. That's about normal. So if you think about plays on the right side, can you win on that shooter? Can you win when you only get 5 box numbers? That's a question. Can your strategy win? Can your strategy win here when you have a point and only 1, 2, 3 box numbers? You're getting the 8 is the point, 6, 5, 9. Can you win with only 3 numbers getting rolled? Can that work for you, right? This is the one that the Horseman had an interesting time on, right? The Horseman won on the come out here, wins on the 7 out here, but loses all 3 combats, right? When I look at rolls like that, I roll my eyes and I'm like, damn it, that's the Horseman's going to get killed in that one. That's the kryptonite for it, right? Lose all the combats and then you 7 out. Can you win here? Probably not, unless you're playing pure dark side. Can you win here? Of course, everybody on the right side can win on this roll here. It's how much do you win when this roll happens? Like you survive, probably do a little regression and survive, a little regression and survive. Maybe lose your spread. Here, can this recoup your loss on this one? Can it get the profit you were supposed to get here? And then somewhere in this middle part of that long roll, give you the kind of the juice to get out of town, right? That's the question. So the more times you can look back in history and say, how many times does the thing I'm looking to have happen really happen? Right? And like I said, the 1, 3, 2, 4, I don't like the field, but you can see it in yellow. There's a 2, there's a 2, there's a 2, there's a 2. There, so you had 2 happen in the one shooter 3 or 4 times. You had 2 happen here once, right? So 2 in a row, which is the 1, 3 that gets you a profit, does happen, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times it happened. 5 times it happened in 4 shooters. That's pretty good, right? You need that 4 though to make it happen for reals. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I got to you haven't played since 2019. Now, Greg, you got craps in Florida now though, right? You got craps in Florida. Let's see. I screwed that up. I skills called it out. I screwed that up. Yeah, that would have been the 4 hit. I think I messed that up. But anyway, it still ends up being about a tie on that guy. So, let's see. Florida. No, you refuse to play in Florida. And so actually, what is it about Florida? If you're still here, Greg, what makes it anti-player? What is it about? I know when they first started, the dealers were rookies, right? But what is anti-player in Florida that makes it a place you don't want to play? The conditions had never been worse. I don't know if you're talking about Vegas or Florida, but anyway, I'll give it a second for that thought to come through if Greg is still with us. It's everywhere. Overcharging for everything. It's crazy. Especially at the tribal casino. The tribal casinos are horrible. Like they're charging for sodas now, right? You can't get a free soda at some places. The drinks have always been, you got to pay for the drinks always, but some places now, if they come to you, they charge you $1 for the soda even at some of the tribals around here. So it is what it is, guys. The casinos are there to leech your money. So you got to be careful with what you, that's how you approach that. All right. All right. Let's get out of here. Have a good day. Hope that was somewhat educational for you. Again, just seeing rolls, talking through it, right? Hindsight's 2020, of course, but I think it's important to look at previous results and get a sense of, is the way that I play going to work more often than not? And can I survive when it's not? That's a very interesting thing. So, all right, out of here. Have a great, is it Thursday? Oh my God, it's Thursday. Have a great Thursday, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Friday Follies tomorrow. Maybe Friday Follies we'll do another 1, 3, 2, 4 line play, but I'll do the don't. Maybe tomorrow we'll do the don't pass. And we'll do a 1, 3, 2, 4 from the don't with max odds. That'll be tomorrow's show. In the meantime, God bless y'all. Have a great day, and I love you.